Hi guys, Alex here with Inside, and today I'm going to walk you through the branded residences segment in Abu Dhabi. Particularly, why am I doing this? Because if you saw my last video on the overall Abu Dhabi market, this segment, the branded segment, first of all, it's one of my favorites from an investment standpoint because it's unique and it offers arguably some of the highest appreciation in real estate in the UAE. And also in Abu Dhabi specifically, it's very, very limited at the moment. So it's still a nascent market and it's poised to grow quite significantly in the coming years. So if you're an investor or an end user who likes a high level of service, you want to either preserve your capital for future generations, you want to make 50, 100% plus returns, this is the segment where this is possible. So I'm going to walk you through the locations. The segment is not very big, as I mentioned, but you'll have a clear idea of what's been the growth trajectory so far, where is it likely to go, and I'll highlight some additional areas where there will likely be launches in the coming year or two. So this can be a good primer for branded residence investing in Abu Dhabi for the next couple years. So let's dive in. When I say the market here is small, I mean that literally. It's only 4 projects here. 3 are on Saadiyat, 1 is on Yas. There will be additional ones expanding beyond that I'll guide you through. So I want to focus on the one on Yas first and go from the least expensive, if you will, to the most. And so first we're going to start with Waldorf Astoria on Yas Island here on the golf course. Then we have Nobu on Saadiyat, we have Mandarin Oriental, and we have the latest 4 Seasons. I'm going to tell you which ones I think are the best ones from an investment standpoint and from a branding standpoint. Let's explore. On Yas, so Waldorf Astoria is down here by the golf course. I'll show you where it is on the map. So it's on the golf course. And what's the main driver of all things on Yas and Abu Dhabi? One is the advent of Disneyland coming over here. Inside sources say there's likely a casino happening in this area as well. And we'll see how this plays with RAC having a casino, but it's likely. But even with Disneyland, the prices are going to grow quite significantly in the coming years. And also the population of Abu Dhabi is growing by more than 7% a year. Compared to Dubai, there's 10 times fewer units launched, and there are very few freehold areas where non-locals can actually buy land and real estate here. And the real estate market in Abu Dhabi for foreign investment opened up just in 2019, so just about 5.5 years ago. And so it's still a very early market, about 10 to 15 years behind Dubai. And the prices are going to catch up, maybe exceed. So if you're one of those investors who thinks Dubai is maybe overcrowded, in many cases it is, not in the branded residence segment, not in the waterfront, but in general, Abu Dhabi then presents a good opportunity for a market that's still emerging and that is likely to double, triple, or more in the next 10 to 15 years. I will say that in general, this whole idea of flipping that is very popular in Dubai and has been around in the UAE for a while, where we buy something off plan and sometimes people think they can exit in 1 to 2 years. Realistically, that's not going to be happening, especially maybe in this segment. Why? Because first of all, the market is changing, it's maturing. So at this point, the holding period is lengthening from 2 years to 3 to 5 to 10 years. And these types of investments are also generally more for investors who have an international portfolio, who are looking to preserve capital rather than just aggressive investments, though it can accommodate both. And so when I say this, realistically, I would say hold it for 5 to 7 years will be a good holding period, potentially longer. We can discuss how it fits into your portfolio, but in general, that's what I would be orienting around the 5-year mark. What you'll notice is the plot is not very big. There were only a few residences. I think there was 133 units. They sold out pretty much same day. Still here, we could get I think they have a penthouse remaining. It's around 38 million or so. And the price per square foot is around 4,500 to 5,000. So this is important because this is the lowest price per square foot out of all these residences, and arguably it's because it's on Yas and not on Saadiyat, where the prices are much higher. And it's considered, Saadiyat is considered a more, let's say, premium location with a very limited beach line. So things on the beach are generally always going to be good investments because the area is limited in supply. And even if they build additional islands, it's okay because it's still, compared to the rest of the land area, very, very small. So here, price around 5,000 dirham per square foot. By the way, this is the price in Dubai for regular non-branded residences on the waterfront, more or less. Even if we look at like Maritime City, which is an emerging area, it's already around 4,000 per square foot. And this is for, you know, non-branded residences. So all in, I think decent, but let's compare this to all the other ones. If we go back and we look here, there's Fahid, Al Jubail, and then we have Saadiyat. So in Saadiyat, we'll cover Nobu and Mandarin Oriental first. Nobu over here, Japanese brand often associated with the Nobu restaurant, though they do have hotel brands, hotels around the world. And there's also a Nobu being built in Iraq that I have some clients in. That one is being built by a different developer. Here is being built by Aldar. When it launched, it was around 15 million dirham for a 2-bedroom, which at the time seemed crazy high. However, those same 2 bedrooms are now going for 20 to 30 million on the resale market. So there's, even in the last year and a half, there's already been significant appreciation. Here, there is a penthouse available for about 150 million. And in general, the idea with any unique properties like penthouses, like beachfront villas, the more exclusive something is, the more limited in quantity something is, I would say the better investment it can become because you dictate the price. And you're not beholden to thousands of other units. You know, how many penthouses on the water are there in Abu Dhabi? Maybe less than 10 units in on the island. So considering the amount of high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals that move here and are continuing to move here, that makes for, you know, an appealing place to invest, to maintain capital, and to resell down the line. So the price per square foot in Nobu is between like 6 and 8,000 per square foot. So it's already starting to inch up. And here the project also sold out. And this is a trend that you'll notice, that despite the higher price tags, these buildings sell out almost instantly. Why? Because investors around the world with this kind of capital recognize that, first of all, they're familiar with the brand and they've seen it around the world, so they know the level of quality that they're getting. And that tends to be part of the appeal for branded residences, because people already know how this brand feels, the level of quality and attention to detail that they bring to any project. So it guarantees a particular benchmark for quality and service. And because they recognize the segment is very, very nominal here in Abu Dhabi, and it's going to, I don't want to use the word explode, but it will appreciate quite significantly as this segment and the emirate and the entire country grows over the coming 5, 10 plus years. Here we have those buildings. Here, not really much available besides the penthouse. So let's shift over and look at Mandarin. Remember, this entire thesis for Saadiyat, at least this part, is largely based around it becoming the cultural center. So you have different museums, you have the Louvre, the Guggenheim, and you have Sheikh Zayed Museum. This is where actually the Mandarin is. So it's not on the water. Here's the project. It's facing the museum. And let's dive in a little bit here. So here there is a few units still available, where the pricing is around 7,500 per square foot, where you can get 4 bedrooms for about 50 million, 3 bedrooms around 35 to 40 million. Also, penthouses are available for about 150. And now we're starting to get into a higher end price tag. And this launched after Nobu, so it makes sense that the prices have increased. And realistically, the appeal here is, once again, in scarcity. It's a better brand than Nobu, I think, from a global recognition standpoint, especially in Asia. And that can, considering the amount of Chinese and Asian investors and residents moving to the UAE, they will often resonate with this a bit more than Nobu. So here, yes, museum views, and once again, there's really not that much space on Saadiyat remaining. So with every consequent launch, it makes sense that the prices are increasing. They're also doing a promotion here. I think the payment plan now is 3070. And even if we try, if we aim to resell close to handover, this could be a good way to secure interesting units in a branded segment for nominal down payments. Once again, what you'll notice is there's very few units in these projects, nothing compared to huge sky rises that have hundreds, sometimes thousands of units. Why? Because people in this segment and the people we're going to be reselling to, first of all, they value privacy. They don't like chaos. It's the difference between walking into an Hermès store, maybe not in Dubai because there's always people there, and like a TJ Maxx or some off-brand store where there's people trying to find discounts. Doesn't really happen with this crowd. So these are generally units not for rentals. These are going to be for either holding as part of a family real estate portfolio, or it's going to be for inviting guests and people. I have clients who have companies based in the UAE. Sometimes they invite clients to these from around the world to hold meetings. So it fits a different profile of client that is often a bit easier to work with, and they're less price sensitive. So it's a bit easier to resell from that standpoint. Let's move on to the last project. I want to talk to you about Four Seasons. It's being built by Elaine. They've been in the market for quite a number of years. They were also responsible for the address JBR in Dubai. The designer that they're working with is Killa Design, and they are responsible for Museum of the Future, so some of very futuristic buildings. So they have a really interesting team on board, and their plot is amazing. It's here on Saadiyat, a little bit removed from the cultural district, and the importance of that is even more privacy. And I'll show you the master plan here in a second. What I love is there's roughly 120 or so units, and they're half and half apartments and villas. So often you'll see high rises and maybe 3 or 4 villas. Here they actually have about 60 apartments and about 50 villas. Some of them are 7-bedroom mansions on the water. Other ones are 5 and 6 bedrooms overlooking the golf course. And this is all branded by Four Seasons. All the units are also furnished. And so from that standpoint, I think it's quite interesting. Here, 3 bedrooms are about 35 million, 4 bedrooms around 60 million. The villas go for between 70 and 300 million dirham. And you might be surprised, but it actually makes a lot of sense for an investor. Why? Because the price per square foot on these is actually around 7,000 to 9,500 or so per square foot. And I can easily see this doubling or more in the next 3 to 5 years. Why? Because I think out of all of these, here I'll show you the brochure. Out of all of these brands, Four Seasons has, I think, the best brand. It's better than Nobu, it's better than Mandarin. It's, I would say, same level as, Ritz-Carlton. To me, Four Seasons is this elegance, refinement, almost aristocracy vibe that many people around the world choose and resonate with. And so here, of course, you're going to get access to all the services you can expect, especially that the units, even the villas, come furnished is fantastic. They have an amazing team on board. And the reason, one additional thing is the payment plan is 50-50. So even for investors who want to resell before handover, could be a good option. And at that price per square foot, look, compare this to, for instance, Four Seasons in Dubai on the canal, where there was a recent transaction at 15,000 dirham per square foot. And even off-plan ones in Dubai are between 10 and 13,000 per square foot. So they're about 20 to 30% higher, sometimes 50% higher transaction prices than this project in Abu Dhabi. And this one is on a beach. So I think you can easily add an extra 20 to 30% upside to this. What does this mean? Whether it's a villa on the beach for about 300 million, or whether it's one of the other ones or an apartment, you're looking at a very early segment that is going to grow significantly. There will be new projects. There's entire new islands as part of the Abu Dhabi 2030 master plan that will be unveiled. I'm going to show you those here in a second, where the next launches are likely to be. And this means that if you're an investor looking to allocate a portion of your family's portfolio, have another residence, I think you look no further than this, and we find something in Four Seasons for you. Before, there was talk of a Cartier residence, and it was supposed to be over here. One of the best spots on the island. Yes, not on the beach, but the closest to all the museums. So far, the information is that it will be non-branded. It will be just launched by Aldar, but it will still be the highest end building here in the area. I'm going to take a step back here and just summarize. So we have anywhere from 4,500 to about 9,500 per square foot pricing for branded residences in Abu Dhabi at the moment. There's only a handful of buildings. Some of them still have availability, and so if it's an option for you, I highly recommend we look at finding the best one for you and your portfolio and your family, where the likely next launch is. Realistically, probably something on Fahid Island next to Disneyland. There's likely to be branded residences there. Then we have Lulu Island over here, which is part of the government's 2030 master plan. And so this island is going to be complete with residential developments. Bulgari is also coming to the area. Supposedly it's over here, but location still TBD. We're going to have potentially branded residences here on Al Jubail Island. We're seeing, an emergence of this market. So branded residences as well as villas, easily fantastic investments. Then we have Al Reem, and yes, there's an Elisab branded property here from Ohana. Then I think it's Reportage who's building the Brabus building, but kind of a different segment, let's be honest. Four Seasons, Waldorf, Mandarin are in a different league when it comes to branded residences. I won't be surprised if we see something from, other than Bulgari, things on that level. And by the way, I remind you that people who bought in Bulgari, people who bought in Royal Atlantis in Dubai, 2 to 3x their money in about 2.5 to 4 years. And those prices are still going up. And in Dubai, that market is significantly bigger. There's between 50 and 70 buildings or so that are branded in Dubai. And it's still a very limited supply segment, and the prices are continuing to increase even after handover. Can you imagine what's going to happen in Abu Dhabi when there's only 4 of them at the moment, and there's already announcements from inside sources, from developers, that there will be quite a few more. So let's take a step back, summarize. I think you guys get the point. I'm a big fan of unique investments. I'm a big fan of strategic investing, simply because I like things that have an exit strategy, even if that strategy is holding it for 50 plus years, as is the case for some families. And it's my joy and privilege to work with investors like this, because we end up forming new projects together around the world. I connect them to my connections in different industries in the US and Europe and Asia. And so we end up forging relationships well beyond the purchase of real estate. And that's part of the reason that I'm in this market. And of course, I'll be happy to work with you if you guys resonate with how I approach this. You want to form a strategic portfolio, please reach out. I'll be happy to work with you. Keep in mind, I work with serious investors. Like, sometimes people write to me and say, can you give me your opinion on this? And then they're already working with a developer. Don't do that. That's, please respect my time. And if you're serious about investing here, you want to form a relationship, potentially discuss potential additional projects about construction and land acquisition, I can help you with that as well. Then I'm happy to set aside the time and guide you and share my connections and expertise here. So as always, you can leave your comments below. You can reach out to me through the link above. Say it's for Alex, so I get your message. Find me on other social media channels, and I look forward to hearing from you. Hopefully you have a better understanding now of the Abu Dhabi branded market, and with my other videos, just the overall market in the UAE. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your comments below. My name is Alex, and I'll see you next time.